What's up, strongest men, women, and children from blocks all around the world? I am my block's strongest man, and today I have for you a very, very special guest, the legendary Donna Moore.
Ciao, homie. Welcome back to My Block's Strongest Man, where we bring strongman into the mainstream by discussing all of the latest strongman events in the greatest analytic detail that you'll find anywhere on YouTube. If you haven't done so yet, subscribe to this channel. Make sure to comment below whether you agree or disagree with my videos. I love the engagement, and I respond to every single comment. Now on to today's topic.
Right. Yeah. So in terms of the various events, would you say your best event is Ardblair Stones, or is it something else? And kind of which event has the greatest opportunity for improvement?
I would say that, probably my best event would be Ardblair Stones, but my circus dumbbell presence, okay. Everything's kind of, it's really difficult. Everything's kind of okay. I really enjoy moving events. I can, sprint quite quickly. But I suppose in terms of the way that like deadlifting has improved for females recently, it's like skyrocketed. We've got a few people nearly up at 300 kilos. That would be the main thing for me that I would need to improve on. And if we were going to have like a squat event or something like that, that would be something else, especially at the moment with my knee, that I would have to really concentrate on doing. But just in the general terms of there isn't that much squatting for us in competitions, she says now, that'll probably be one. It would be my deadlift that I would like to improve on the most. Whereas like my 1 rep max, I can like rep quite well for quite a long time, heavyweight, but just like the one heavy rep that may be needed off the floor, then I would need to work at that a bit more. So I'm quite open and honest about that. I would need to get my deadlift to be a bit better.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there are some incredible deadlifters. Andrea Thompson, Haley Randall, who else? Kristen Rhodes.
Andrea, Rhiannon Lovelace.
I was going to say, above all, just at that body weight, Rhiannon Lovelace is just out of this world with her deadlift.
Yeah, she is, and she's really, really good at it. So she spends a lot of time as well, making that be excellent, and it's her thing. She enjoys it as well. So I definitely think that helps. But yeah, sure, she's like the best deadlifter at that, like you say, at that body weight. So here in the UK, we've got quite a lot of, Andrea's the current world record in deadlift, Rhiannon for her weight class, and there's another couple of girls in the UK whose deadlifts are getting really, really big. So it's time to get a move on.
For sure. So speaking about Ardblair Stones, you broke your own record, right? It was a 377-pound stone, I believe, onto a 48-inch platform, and was that
171 kilos. I'm not entirely sure what that is in poundage, but yeah, 171. And the height of it was because I was at Tom Stockman's gym, so I was using his platform, which obviously he's like 6'7". It wasn't really one of my better ideas, but anyway, said it out loud, so there we go. We have to do it. So yeah, that's I really enjoy doing that kind of thing. So
yeah,
hopefully
how did you prepare for that situation? And did the height of the platform surprise you when you arrived?
Well, I had measured it out, and we'd be putting it over a yoke, but probably just like a little bit less. So when I got there and saw it all made out of wood, and I was like, oh, it is a little bit higher. Awesome. So I've been practicing with Ardblair Stones. The biggest stone that I had in my gym that we were able to get, because it was 160-ish, but then after that it became like, it goes up to like 180, but they're older stones, so the diameter of them is like, they're really, really big, and it just wasn't something that I was really able to do. So we just concentrated totally on being able to rep like 160 for like reps at any particular time, so that like 160 was a doable weight every single time that I lifted it. We broke the lift down into exploding from the hole, hugging the stones in, and being able to like get them to the best, place on me to be able to get them over that particular height. So it was quite more of like a technical exercise for me. And then obviously the actual unknown, because I've not lifted a stone or got near to a stone of that weight before I got there. Added into the fact that it was brand new stones. Like if somebody else had used them for a little bit first, so all the dust and stuff would have gone. But we got it was brand new. So it was like a good challenge for me, really. And there wasn't like a lot of notice to go with it either. So trying to fit that into the time frame, and also there had been like some other lockdown things here that we couldn't get to different places. So it made not even having stones just to do maybe we'd done a strongman training session just for some fun. I hadn't touched them in ages, so it was like a big ramp up for that. But to answer the question, just basically working on the technique of that, definitely securing a good pick from the floor, and then exploding out of the hole once you get it out to your knee, and then hopefully over the great big giant plinth that I would do.
Yeah, it makes it all the more impressive, I'll tell you. I wonder, maybe that's part of Tom's advantage over others. He's practicing on taller platforms, so when he's in competition, he's like, "Oh, these are short, these are easy."
Yeah, and he's obviously very athletic, and I've known him since he was like a teenager, like 11. So to me, it's just like I still look at him the same. So it's like giant child. He's very athletic. He has a very good technique, and his height is obviously on his side because wherever he picks it up to, he's already the same height as the platform. So if you're having height ascending platforms, it's definite advantage for him. But I suppose with the guys now, mainly it's just flat, isn't it? So it's makes it better for everybody. But he's just amazing at them, really. Nice, great big long wingspan.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. So what advice would you have for somebody like me who's never picked up an Atlas stone and wants to learn how to do it and improve? Would it be, as you said, to break down each portion of the movement?
Yeah, I definitely think so. If I'm coaching it to other people, if we go to seminars, then we totally break down like the sections of Atlas stone lifting, because if you don't get it right from the start, then you're going to be fighting against a great big giant concrete ball for the rest of your lift. So we break it down to learning how to just literally pick it up from the floor, not even putting it on your knee, actually securing your hands in the correct place where your feet are in the correct position for the stone. If you're going to be using like tacky or not tacky at the start, but try to promote people not using tacky so that they learn to squeeze with their hands and their forearms mainly to keep it in the right place. And just work through like that particular stage, then picking it from the floor and then onto your knee until you've got that right, and then hugging the stone in. I think that's a big thing that people forget. They just leave it sitting on the knee, but you need to hug it into your body, and then the exploding up so that the stone is in the right place to be loaded. But it's quite difficult to explain it like on a video. Otherwise, I'd be like rambling on for hours. It's like
without demonstrating. I got it.
Yeah, so it's difficult without like a stone, like you say, to demonstrate. But yeah, definitely breaking down the lifts into different sections so that you are proficient at them. And once you're proficient at it, then I think you find that the weights increase quite quickly. And then obviously your arms get used to lifting the stones, because that can be quite a problem for people. It does hurt at the start, but I mean, people can get stone sleeves or whatever for things like that, but it's just not much at the minute.
That makes sense. So I'm going to put you on the spot with this one. So as I mentioned, the great Jessica Fithin said you're the strongest woman of all time. Let's assume you're in the top 5. Who's there with you?
Oh, in the top 5. Oh gosh. There's we might have to extend the number. So for the heavyweight women, we'll just do it like that. Sure. Okay, so Andrea, myself, Jessica, Victoria Long, who Andrea and I had never met until OSG. So she's there. Anna from Sweden. Some of the girls from the UK would probably be there Annabelle, Lucy, and gosh, I don't want to miss like any people out. There'll be
I limited your number. It's not your fault.
Kristen as well. If Kristen was going to do a full competition, it's she's there killing it all. And Olga from the Ukraine, she's really, really speedy. So those are the people that I would be springing to my mind straight away. Although there are other people that I've not actually met and competed against, so it's difficult for me to say. And there's some strong ladies from Canada as well. So it just depends, of course, at that level on the day, who doesn't mess up, and who keeps it together. I think when you're so competitive, it really just comes down to the small details. Like it could literally just be anything that can just make a big difference. Just one mistake. I made a mistake as well, lifting a sandbag over a yoke, or lifting a sandbag off the floor to put it over a yoke, and that cost me quite a lot of places in a particular event. So, and I didn't win. So that's the reality of it, really, at that scale. Don't miss up.
Interesting. Yeah. So it's interesting that you bring up Olga. I was checking her out on Instagram, and her posts are in Russian, but I like to engage with everybody, so I use Google Translate to respond. We'll see how well that went over.
Yeah. Her English is like loads better, but she's I've been competing against Olga for a long time, so we've known each other quite a while. So it's nice to see that her at the Arnold and winning. It was a pleasure to be there for that. Totally deserved. It's nice to see nice things happen to nice people who do really work hard and have come from a different background.
Okay, so one more question along those lines. How important is legacy to you, being considered among the greatest of all time? Is that something you think about, or not so much?
No, because look, it makes me go like, it's nice to be considered. It's nice to be considered that, but and I hope that I've done a little bit to bring the sport of strongwoman to other people, that other people have seen like what I could do and the other ladies can do, and can focus on strength sport as an outlet, as something to do. It's society says that women shouldn't be doing things like that, and I wanted to prove that actually you can. It's about your ultimate happiness. If lifting weights and coming and doing strongman, even if you don't compete, makes you happier and healthier in your body and your mind, then come and give it a go, because really it's made me how I am, if you see what I mean. I'm fortunate that I get to compete and travel at a high level to do it, but at the very, very start, it just brought me actual happiness. So for me, that's the main importance of what I do, is that other people or other women can see what else is out there, for all sizes of people, for all body shapes of people, and it's inclusive and it's a nice community. So that's the main thing for me, and that's what I would like to leave behind, that people maybe try the strongman because they saw me doing it, really. And that's the I don't know. I can't really say about being like the greatest of all time, or being a legacy. I would like my legacy more to be that, like I just said to you, people have seen what I did and they tried, they enjoyed it, and they got some benefit out of joining in the sport the same.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I have that mindset as well. As I mentioned, I was an only child, and growing up, I had my little bench press set, but what I enjoyed was taking my dad's keys, putting the car in neutral, and pushing it up and down the driveway. I came up with creative, fun things like that to do, and I've never been a strongman, but it's just something that's fun for me. So over the years, now I'm married, I have children. We reconfigured the yard, so we needed a little retaining wall. And I thought, well, I have a bunch of stones over there. Well, we'll make a game out of it. I'll go pick them up, run them over, and my mother's telling me, stop, you're going to hurt yourself. And some people just don't get, like, this is fun. you know?
It really is. So I've recently changed jobs, so my new work colleagues, they're just, I don't think that I would be what they expected, because they knew about what I did before I got there. And I'm like, no, really, I'm just like Donna, who likes to like lift stuff. It's literally just how it is. But I was trying to explain to them, like you just said about truck pull or car pushing or something. And they were like, oh, I wouldn't be able to do that. And I was like, yes, but have you tried? So the sense of accomplishment that you may get from, it may seem odd to other people, but like pulling a bus or a plane or pushing like something like that, it's a sense of accomplishment and an achievement, and it's a visually heavy object, so it does take a lot of effort to get that bus over the line, but once you've done it, you're just like, oh my gosh, I've just pulled a bus, plane, whatever. And I think people can see it for something differently, that they just see fitness or training as just literally being in the gym, especially for women on treadmills, and they don't find that as anything that they would want to do. They wouldn't want to go to a gym like that. But, like you say, strongman is like fun. You get to pick things up and, carry them around. And I think that's the main thing that I want to get across to people. It is for everybody, and it really can be quite a lot of fun. You don't have to compete the way that I do, or the other ladies that compete do. Literally, I got into it because I enjoyed the training aspect of it, and then just decided to enter competitions as I went along. It wasn't like my initial goal. I didn't ever think at the very start that this is where that I would end up at all, to be honest. Yeah.
Right, like as you mentioned, when you're moving a vehicle, most of the effort is in getting it going, but then you have momentum. It's a metaphor for life, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely it is. And you once you get going, like you say, you can keep going, but you have to make the start, you have to make the change. And then that's another thing that I would like to get a message across to people. Like change is definitely scary, but if you don't try, then you don't know. You don't know what else is out there if you don't try something different. And that could be like in your job, in your like household life, leaving relationships or something like that. If it's not bringing you happiness, then I don't see an awful lot of point. That's the way that I am.
I actually got similar advice from Marcus Crowder when I spoke with him. I asked him, what advice would you have for somebody thinking about getting into strongman? And he said, I find that most people don't like being uncomfortable, and you can find great things if you're uncomfortable. Yeah,
definitely. You really, really can. You can. Yeah. It's like being uncomfortable kind of like forces change. So good things can come from change, and I think it's only like a positive thing.
Yeah. So what would you say is the thing you like the best about being a strong woman?
Well, for myself, I like it because it's fun. It like I say, it brings me happiness, and it's an outlet for like my actual life. Anything that might be frustrating or unhappy or anything, I like to focus those things on training. And ask me the rest of that again. I had a great long speech there.
Yeah, just what do you like the best about the sport? Do you have kind of a story that you'd like to share? Most people say it's the camaraderie of the other athletes, but I wanted to get your thoughts.
Yeah. I am going to obviously say that as well. Like, it is a nice community to be a part of, and women in sport is so much of a taboo subject, especially women like lifting. So it's nice to be with like-minded people as well, showing the world what women can do. That's the way that I like to view it. So the community is nice, it is supportive, and you get to meet people from all over the world as well. So that's what I enjoyed about it. The beauty of like social media is you can see what other people are doing, and go to competitions that you can get to meet them and the other awesome athletes with the more ladies that are coming into the sport. The depth of talent is obviously getting better.
Yeah, absolutely. So it seems to me like your life is a little more balanced than just solely focused on training. What other hobbies do you have?
I have a lot of dogs. So I have five dogs and 2 teenagers. So really, I'd spend a lot of my time while doing housework, first of all, because of the dogs. But I like to walk. I like to take my dogs out and to the beach or up into like the Yorkshire Dales or something like that, just to get away from everything. So they would be like my main thing that I like to do. I did like to swim when we were allowed to go swimming, but not just as more of like a recreational and recovery kind of thing. But I also like to see my friends and my family again, which is our lockdown here is pretty severe, so we haven't been able to do much of that. So I've been really missing seeing, like family members and friends. But they're the things that I like to do to kind of balance out the other intense side of everything. It's nice to kind of like just forget those kind of things and just be free out in the countryside with my dogs that only really bother about me. So it's nice.
Yeah. I do some of those strongman events myself at my house. The toddler carry, the laundry carry. I'm very good at those.
Yeah, that's right. And I would also, the laundry carry would be high on my list of sporting activities in my house as well.
So what would you say of the various things that we've discussed today, kind of what's the most exciting thing on the horizon for you?
Well, really just like trying to find out if any of the competitions are going to be going ahead for international athletes that are able to travel. That's the main thing that I'm looking forward to. I don't know if there's any records that are going to be available for us to try, like with the West World records that they did last time. Mm-hmm. But yeah, just really trying to find out if there's any possibility for travel at this time. Originally, 2020 was probably going to be my last year of actually competing and doing stuff like that. Yeah, but now I didn't get the chance to do that, so we kind of moved it on a year. I say that now, but I mean, I may kind of carry on, but I just turned 40. So, kind of like a different kind of priorities kind of thing. We're going to be coming, but now, the pandemic's like put that last year that I wanted to do on hold. So we've had to kind of go forward, extend it a little bit. And, yeah. And I didn't want to go into the masters category or anything just yet. So I wanted to stay doing it with the heavyweight women, yeah. And that was going to be like maybe my last year of doing it, because it can be quite time consuming, and like you say, like other priorities maybe coming to the forefront, and maybe another change of career. But we'll take 2021 and see what it brings, and then make another decision after that.
Okay. So I really appreciate you jumping on today. I've learned a ton about your background, your accomplishments, insightful nature in terms of just humankind. It's been a lot of fun for me. So why don't you take this opportunity to tell everybody how they can follow you, keep in touch, anything you like to promote, sponsorships, whatever you like.
So people can follow me on Instagram. It's Donna Moore Strongwoman. I do have a Facebook page, but Instagram is probably the best place to get in touch with me. I haven't broached into other social media just yet. So send me a message on Instagram, or you can comment on a video, which is more likely that what I would see. And you can message me on Messenger. Separately, again, it's just Donna Moore. You'll see the profile picture. It's just obviously me. So that's the main thing. That's about it, really. I haven't got any other social media.
All right, fantastic. Well, thanks again, Donna, for jumping on today. I really, really appreciate it, and maybe we catch up again after your next competition.
Okay, sure. Take care. Thank you for having me. You too. Bye.
Bye.
So if you like this video and haven't done so yet, please consider subscribing using that button right there. And also stay tuned for some other videos that you might love blooping up right there. This one is the one that YouTube thinks that you will like the best, and this one is the one that I think you will like the best. As always, share this with everyone, and until next time, ciao, homie.